Hello. Hiya. How are you? Welcome back. This is Send Him Off. Uh Number three of the season. It's nice. I can't remember the last time we did 3 consecutive weeks. Al, my
That's a good point.
ever-present
Yeah,
podcasting
do the
partner.
thing, do the thing. It doesn't feel right, but yeah, it feels a bit, bit odd actually being consistent again. But I like it. I like it. My hair's all over the place. I've just jumped out of the shower. Sorry, everyone, and to our guest, Sam. Tell everyone who's here.
Yes, well, we love the flat chat. They're great. And
Our Scottish
um
brothers. I
they
like to
are.
think of them
They
as.
are. And we're joined by Aaron from the flat chat, who's everyone's favorite member.
We can say that because the others aren't here, innit?
Yeah.
Just on the down low, on the down low. But yeah, absolute pleasure to be back. Thank you for having me. Don't know about favourite member. I'm sure the other boys will want to have words about that. But again, very much so. Good to be back on Send Them Off. Third
Yes.
time now. I'm
Third
expecting
time.
the
Yeah,
the charity mug to come up
The
to
match
yeah.
ball.
Well,
A
that's
match
yeah.
ball.
You're one of the very few to earn a match
Yeah,
ball.
there's
Actually,
not many.
we've
There's
not
not
had many
many we've
hat
had
tricks.
3 times, but you are in a Hall of Fame now, Aaron. So we're we're gonna chat today just a little bit about the Premier League. It's 2 weeks in now. We are. It'll be three by the time this goes out. Um, some early thoughts. I'll come to Alex first, I think.
The thing is, right now you've done that, I'm gonna have to start speaking, and my hair, like as you know, when we do these, like our boxes come up full screen. So I just like to formally apologize to literally everybody watching this because it's not good. It's not a good sight. But we're gonna start with me and the Premier League. And yes, well, as of recording this, yesterday Arsenal beat Crystal Palace. They beat Crystal Palace 1-0. And I was thinking, like, I sort of half ruled Arsenal out when I was like, I didn't when we gave our preseason predictions. I did. It's not like I ruled them out, but it was more like I kind of just said City are going to win everything.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know whether I'm too sure. I think Arsenal will give them a good go. They will give them a good go. Obviously, City are City, and City are City. But I don't know. Are we going to be stupid to rule them out? I
I don't
don't
think you can
know.
rule anyone out 2 games in. Certainly
I think we
before
can
the
rule
season
Chelsea out.
starts.
I think we can
yeah,
rule
You
for
Chelsea
reckon?
sure.
out.
Already. Already.
I think it's fair. I don't know. There's just something not clicking with them. There's just
Yeah.
something not there.
Anybody really impressed you so far, Aaron?
Well, if I had to say somebody a team that's impressed me so much right now, it's the team that's currently sitting at the top of the table as of recording. It's Brighton.
Brighton,
They
yeah.
somehow look just as good as they did last year with losing the likes of Caicedo, and I don't know how De Zerbi is doing this. There's some kind of dark magic going on with Brighton clearly, but no, they've been absolutely brilliant. I saw them against Luton. They looked amazing. I saw them against Wolves. They absolutely punished them. Matoma, real standout player for me. Solly March has had a good couple of games as well. Stepanian carrying my FPL team, so thanks for that, lad.
Yeah, same,
But
same.
no, honestly, if I had to put like a standout on it, I would say 100% is Brighton so far. I
Yeah.
think the fact that they look as good as they do with losing the players that they have, likes of Caicedo, is remarkable. Fair play to them.
Little caveat though, the teams they have played,
I was going to
I
say that.
think we'll see.
Wolves,
We'll
I'd
see
say
how. I think Wolves are in big trouble,
I do as
and
well. Luton, I
Luton
can't
are
see him staying up.
Luton, and they,
I'm
bless
not going to
them.
lie.
Um,
Bless them,
but
playing off with your Luton.
bless
Little
them. Yeah, but
Luton.
no, yeah, I think we'll see Brighton get tested for
Yeah,
sure. I think we
for sure.
will. And I do think they're going to pass a lot of the tests.
I was going to
I
say that.
do
I
think the
was.
story will be completely different once European football kicks in. Once that is added to your calendar,
See, I'm not
unless you
sure.
have depth, which
I'm not
I'm
sure.
not sure Brighton have the same with Newcastle. Newcastle look really good so far, really, really good. I know they lost to City, but I mean, it's City.
Yeah.
But I think the depth is where they will struggle going into a Champions League season.
I think they'll struggle from the point of view of the Champions League. Brighton, they got, was it? I can't remember where they finished
Europa,
last
I
year.
believe.
Yeah,
Europa.
Europa.
Yeah.
Aaron.
So in Brighton's case, I think whatever run they have, that will affect them in the Europa League. I can't like say now they get through the group. I don't think they'll progress further because they'll still have their main focus on the Premier League, and I don't think that'll slip. So I think they'll focus on the Premier League at the expense of the Europa League, if that makes any sense to
You
you.
think?
No,
I think it might be
100%.
the other way.
I don't know. I think
I think
there's
you've got
more
way more
money
chance
involved.
of it. Yeah, but there's a chance of a trophy, and if you win the Europa League, you're into the Champions League next year.
I understand. I don't know. I just think as far as the Premier League goes, there's more money involved in. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it finishing higher?
Yeah, I think so. I think
Something
Must
like
I'm not.
that, yeah.
I don't know. There's
Definitely.
I think financially it makes more sense for teams like Brighton, maybe not Newcastle are, they're in a completely separate, you know, ballpark as far as money goes. But for
Mhm.
teams like Brighton, I think they're going to be more focused on again finishing higher up that Premier League and sustaining that position that they've sort of found themselves in. They're not going to finish first, so
I
let's
get
be.
where you're coming from, but I don't know. I
Listen,
feel
as
like
a fan,
if I was a
if I
Brighton
was a
fan,
Brighton fan, I'd
well,
want that.
we would
We
we did
exactly,
it.
yeah,
We had
we had
this.
Exactly,
that.
yeah.
We had
Ex-
When
this.
you,
We had this
we just had the same thought
2013.
there.
Yeah.
Two thoughts exactly. But no,
And
I go on.
my thing when we were in the Europa League was let's try and go as far as we can in
But
it.
did we suffer
definitely.
in the Premier League? Did we suffer in the Premier League that
Probably,
year?
probably, yeah.
I
I don't think
think
we suffered all that much. But I
I
think
think
that was down to
for teams
Loudrup
like
rather
Brighton and
than
that as well, 100%. I think you focus on Europa League. I think Premier League, yeah, it's nice, but obviously there's a certain prestige that comes from winning a European trophy. I mean, look at West Ham. They didn't have
100%.
a great season last season, but ended up winning the Conference League. So they'll take that as a fantastic
Is
season. But I completely agree with the point that when you're adding Thursdays and Sundays onto your schedules, that's where I think
yeah.
we'll start to see Brighton get really properly tested. Same with Villa, same with Newcastle when they're playing Tuesday, Wednesday nights in Champions League. But as you say, Newcastle right now, I've got the unlimited money glitch at this point,
Yeah.
so I think they will be fine. But
Saying
yeah,
that though, just quickly on Brighton, these are professional footballers, right? And I know this gets brought up and it's thrown around all over the place. But as a professional footballer, you want to be playing at the top level, don't you? Want to be playing like the highest point you can possibly play.
for sure,
So like,
definitely.
why would they not want to train harder and train? I know there's obviously that risk of injury, but like in an ideal world, let's say for example, like they don't get any injuries. I don't think they can use fatigue as an excuse. Some of these players,
Yeah,
majority of them.
again, a lot of them are now conditioned to play like 40, 50, 60 games a season now. So it's kind
Exactly.
of like,
Plus, like European tournaments, world tournaments in the summer. Some of them will play for they'll represent their country. So, like every 2 years, they won't really have that summer off. So I
exactly.
don't
I think
know whether.
Varane's sort of the tweet that he was saying about it as well. I don't know if you saw that before the season started when he was talking about the FA saying that we're playing too many games. See if you're a professional footballer, like I understand that viewpoint, but I completely agree with you, Alex. I think you want to be competing in these games to
Exactly, yeah.
every single possible level you can.
Mm.
Yeah.
No, that's just where I'm sitting with that.
Any other standouts other than Brighton? Any surprise packages in the first two?
I'm actually going to say, you know what? And I don't like saying it because they took our manager, and I'm still a bit bitter about it. But Tottenham, I think they've
Yeah,
looked really, really good over the
100%.
last first couple of games. Brentford, to be fair, I think are a team that quite heavily scout their opposition, so they kind of knew what to expect from Ange Ball. But Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher clearly don't because they were in awe at the prospect of inverted fullbacks. But against Manchester United, I thought they were absolutely astounding. That
Yeah,
midfield that
me
they
too.
had of Madison, Basum, and that, they just ran miles. And that is Ange Ball to a T. And I think they will do very, very well. The only sort of concern I have with Tottenham is obviously the loss of Kane means they don't really have a sort of recognised striker other than Solomon in there. I mean, you could say Richarlison, but he's a winger, I think, not a striker. And he's also not very good. Sorry, Jacob. But for me, I think if Tottenham can keep this up and recruit well in January, I think there's serious potential. They could be in that top four hunt. I think the likes of Newcastle will be looking over their shoulder a little bit, I think.
Yeah,
Where
100%.
do
I
we
think
sit on Harry Kane? Where do we sit on that?
on his lap or like,
Well, we
Where do you
could
want to
do.
sit with Harry Kane on that one, mate?
From where I'm sort of looking at it. I feel Tottenham have almost been liberated slightly by the sale of Harry Kane. I feel like they've kind of, instead of having like, I don't know, I just feel like there was like a massive, I don't know, thing on Kane. He was supposed to get that record. He was supposed to try and win Spurs a trophy. I feel like it's helped Tottenham as a club to maybe release that burden.
I agree with you.
Obviously,
I think
okay.
there's not necessarily a better striker than Kane, than Kane that they can go out and get, but there's certainly one that suits Postecoglou's style of play better than Kane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear that point about liberating it because I think a lot of that is down to like the English media because he's England's captain and he's expected to do these kind of things. I think it's a move that has worked out well for both player and club because it means that Postecoglou now can go out and get a striker that fits the system a little bit better. Kane can now get a move to a big club in Germany and potentially get that sort of bit off his back about winning a trophy. I think it's worked out very, very well for both club and player at this point. But it's obviously early days, so we'll need to see. But as it stands right now, I wouldn't. I'm agreeing with Alex. I think Tottenham have been liberated a little bit by
I
the
just
loss
feel
of
as
Kane.
if over the years under Pochettino and whoever has come, and been Swansea, dear me, Tottenham manager. Yeah, I wish. I wish.
We all
There's
have
been,
dreams, Alex.
yeah, I know. There's been strikers that could have fit that Tottenham mold very, very well. But if you were that striker and you saw Harry Kane in that team, you're thinking, well, there's no way I'm getting in over him. No matter if he's, he could have one leg and there's still a chance that he gets in before me. So I feel like Tottenham have missed out on a few opportunities in the past to have, a really good goal scorer at these. I mean, don't get me wrong, Kane, he did the job fantastically, but I don't know. I feel like they could have. I don't know. I don't want to say too much on this.
It feels like a little bit of a new chapter for them, I think.
Yeah.
And I think the money, well, they've got what, 100 million.
It feels like a breakup. I got to be honest.
Yeah.
It feels like a breakup for
us. 100
Spurs
million for 29-year-old, whatever he is, with a year left in his contract. Which, when you say that, is a very good deal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they'll go out and they'll buy some. They have to buy someone though, because Richarlison just is not the answer.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Not the answer.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Son's the answer long term either. I think you're looking to get him back out to the wing as soon as you can.
100%.
And I, as a Celtic fan, currently watching very much over my shoulder because there's a certain Japanese striker that played under Ange Postecoglou that he may or may not be looking at. So
yeah.
Keep hold of him.
Well, yeah, might well be. Well, will he raid Celtic though? Because there's talk of I heard Jota. Is it Jota from he's out in Saudi Arabia, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's already on the move.
Him. Like, obviously, it looks as if Al Ittihad inexplicably or somehow letting him go just a month after joining. Like, I don't know what's happening with that, but. See, to be honest, I think that could be a very, very good sign for Spurs. Give him an opportunity in the big leagues and let's see how well he can do.
Yeah.
Like, people think, obviously, they go to Saudi. Obviously, a lot of these players are a bit older. They look more towards that. Jota's only 22. So there's every possibility he could get better. He's going there before he hits his prime. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Ange go for Jota. It's clear he knows what he gets with him. So
that's true.
Definitely.
With Saudi, I think it's quite an interesting one with the whole Saudi. I think it's a bit like what it was in China and Russia in the past. If you're going to go to Saudi, go now. You have to go now. Put aside all like politics and all human rights, all that, and just focus on football. If you're going to go, you go now because you're going to get that payday.
Take
now.
The money and run.
Exactly. Yeah, that is what you're doing. You go there for a couple of years because who knows what situation is going to be in Saudi Arabia in a couple of years' time. So that's why I think the influx of players that Saudi are getting are going at the time they go in, because I think they're thinking, listen, if I hang on, I could go to Saudi now, or I could go to, say, Barcelona, and we all know what the situation is at Barcelona financially. They could go to Barcelona, or they could go to Saudi for a couple of years, come back with how many millions of quid in their bank, and then they play in the big league, which is what I thought Mbappe was going to do. But anyway,
Barcelona can only pull 27 of their financial levers to get people in at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're running out of levers to pull. That's what they're doing. They're looking at the bottom of the barrel now. They're just like, what other levers can we do?
Well, yeah, they're really searching. They're really searching.
They're really reaching.
Yeah, I don't know whether that sort of particular cash cow will run out soon over in Saudi Arabia. I don't know how that'll go. They could well end up in the Champions League. It has been mentioned. There's been whispers of it.
That's my prediction.
I don't know if I can see that.
I think they will.
Do you think so?
I think it makes too much financial sense for a association like UEFA, and let's be honest, that's the bottom line. Regardless of what fans think, they're gonna go. If it makes money, they're gonna do it.
Absolutely.
So I think as much as people can say whatever they want about Saudi and the ethics and everything else like that, there's definitely a point to be made about that. But obviously, I think a lot of it is stemming from the fact that it's sort of disrupting what the Premier League fans think is the natural order, because the Premier League has been doing this to other leagues in Europe for 30 years. So it just seems now
That's
that it's
true.
happened to them.
Yeah,
It seems a bit more kind of cagey, like, oh, don't like this.
I saw a bit of an argument between was it Balacher and Jamie Redknapp, and he was basically saying about how the Premier League is starting to take all the limelight from Spain. Now I think it's Saudi taking all the limelight from the Premier League, maybe because I
Absolutely.
think there's still a lot of pull
Absolutely.
there.
That's a word. What a word that is.
But with the argument with Saudi, the Saudi A-League joining, is it Saudi A-League? I don't know what it's called.
Saudi Pro League.
Pro League, there we are. Like the A-League's Australian or something, I don't know. The Pro League joining the Champions League we had this sort of debacle a couple of years ago now. It feels like a lifetime ago, but we had this debacle with the what was it now? The Super League.
European,
yeah.
What?
And that,
what a strange 2 days that was.
That was the best 2 days on football Twitter, because every time you refresh,
it was something different. Yeah,
meme or tweet slandering the Super League.
Well, that's how we got started. I think we started off on that was one of our first episodes.
It was Project Big Picture. That was.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah,
Super League. It was our first season, and we did like an emergency episode.
An emergency,
like we were gonna change the world or anything. But
you were sending a message to Florentino Perez. Listen, lad.
Yeah. It was direct. It was direct to him.
It was
from my conservatory
at Real Madrid CF. Listen.
But my only thing with that was soon snuffed out because there was uproar from the fans. Like there was fans, protesting us. I think I seem to remember it was, Chelsea fans outside Stamford Bridge, and then eventually
outside Elland Road.
Exactly, yeah. Abramovich changed his mind. The Glazers changed their mind. Everybody seemed to change their mind. So I feel like if there's enough, protest against, the Pro League joining the Champions League, because it is the European UEFA Champions League.
Yeah.
And to have a team from
argue Eurovision,
exactly, yeah. Not that
now we're talking. Now we're on to my. This
is the content everyone wanted to see.
We've been going wrong all these years, Sam. We should just be talking about Eurovision.
Eurovision podcast. Why not? No, I agree. I think this Saudi Arabia thing. I don't know where it's gonna go. I'm interested to see where it goes as well. And I'm not that against it. Like, leave the ethics to one side. But I think it's only the same as the Premier League and La Liga stacking players. It's no different. It's just the fact that it's not in Europe, I can see people are having a problem with it.
Yeah, I think
and given the ethics issues. I mean, if you do put that to one side, because we don't get serious in this pod, we tend to shirk away from all controversy.
But for the best boys, to be fair to you.
Yeah, but put that to one side, and I don't see a problem. From a football point of view, I got no problem with it.
Yeah, if you're basing it off just football, then people would just say well, what's the difference? Like the Premier League done that for 30 years. Like,
yeah, no, that is true. I'm sort of trying to see it from both sides, and I think I am being a bit of a purist as far as the Premier League goes, and saying, because it is just like the pull of the money in it. Like you can't say no to all. Like imagine being offered a contract for all that money, and like there's players going there, like with all due respect to Jota being signed from Celtic. He's no Cristiano Ronaldo. He's no Karim Benzema. Imagine getting that paycheck in front of you and saying, "Would you like to sign for us with this?" Oh my gosh!
Genuinely, when we heard
my eyes would fall out.
Exactly. When we heard that the offer come in and we'd seen what'd been offered, I think the consensus among Celtic fans was fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough. Don't blame them.
What can
absolutely.
you do? Celtic's not offering 260 grand a week.
It's an insane amount of money. And I remember, I wasn't Wayne Rooney like the highest paid player years ago now. This was like 10 plus years ago when he was playing for Man United at like 280 grand a week, and everybody thought that was absolutely ludicrous. And I got
the big rate was out in force. Like they're getting paid too much. These
people. Yeah, I know. And then you go to Saudi Arabia, people have been offered like watches and bottles of champagne. Well, probably not champagne out there, but
the Fabinho video of the Rolex as well.
Yeah, that exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, from a fan.
Like he just said,
mental,
here's
man.
a gold Rolex, mate.
The
Someone
best
does
you
that-
could hope for over years.
Someone
Like,
does that in Swansea, and you'll just assume it's been stolen.
yeah, it's been robbed from somewhere.
Yeah.
Glasgow, to be fair.
Yeah. Back to the Premier League. I want to look at the bottom of the table. So I'm looking at Wolves and Everton, specifically. Because I think Sheffield United are just dead in the water, personally. I
They
can
didn't
see-
sign anyone.
yeah.
Like when I seen that they were coming in, having not made any sort of significant incomes, I'm thinking trouble.
Yeah, they've
Serious
got
trouble.
Hamer, haven't they, from Coventry, who is an absolute baller. Scored a worldie on his debut the other day. But Wolves, for me, are looking well in the shit.
Shaky. To say to be
To
put it
kind.
bluntly.
Yeah, to put
Yeah.
it bluntly. And then Everton, I just don't know. I mean, you've obviously got-
honestly, some witch doctor's doing something up there. It must be because I can't work out for the life of me how they got away with it 2 years on. But they surely
They can't keep getting away with this. Like
that's what I'm saying. They can't keep getting away with it.
like
It's going to be between Wolves and Everton, I reckon. And I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Jacob. I know. You know, Jacob's an Everton fan. I can't see him doing it again. I cannot see. I don't think I could take him doing it again. I want an away day at Everton. That's all it is, really. I want to go to Goodison. I want to go to Goodison Park. Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't
Like-
been there for ages.
The level of preparation that we put in this podcast, obviously we came through with like notes for each team. The note I have for Everton is just Everton.
yeah.
Like,
that's-
that is just up to the
I
team.
literally don't know even
Everton.
where to start with them. They are the most depressing football club to watch at the minute. It's just everything about it. Like, even down to the fact that like Bill Kenwright, their chairman, is scared to go to games just in case he gets hurt.
No,
It's like,
It's got there. It's
come
got there.
on, like you really.
I don't know.
it's
With
just-
Sean Dyche as well, I don't feel like. I mean, Sean Dyche, brilliant man, brilliant manager. Was it the most inspired choice?
last year it
No.
was. I said from the start he'll keep him up.
Yeah, but
last year.
okay,
But
fair enough. He'll
he's-
keep him, but you
yeah,
can't.
but
You're a club like Everton. You can't just stay up.
Goes deeper than that though. Their recruitment this year has been shocking.
yeah.
They've just got
When they signed
nothing.
Alex Awobi, I thought, oh, the writing's on the wall, but yeah.
Well,
That's
four-
when
You
lost
just thought
all
it's
ambition.
over.
6 years
It's
ago.
over for these
Yeah,
guys.
that for me, that was when I thought they really have lost ambition. Yeah.
40 million. And ironically, he's probably been their best player over the last year or so.
Yeah, but what does that say?
Exactly. Like Calvert-Lewin has basically 0.5 legs because the other 1.5 is constantly injured at this point. Like, where is Everton going at this point?
What configure cam?
What's happening by
Almost
Abba?
do. Whoa,
Your
hang
camera's
on.
gone off.
And it's all written in reverse as well.
He's gone as well.
He's gone. Aaron's
Aaron's
left the
gone.
studio.
Oh
Yeah.
no!
Hang on, no, he's back from beyond.
Oh,
Is he?
I'm
There he
back.
is.
hey!
he is. There he is.
Sorted. No, yeah, Everton are they're in the mud. They are. You were right, Darren.
Aaron looks stressed for that.
I was going to say, boys, the wonders of live podcasts. That is all. I say.
We love it.
My mic's
And-
working. You can hear me, but I cannot see you guys.
And-
Don't worry, we can
and
see
will,
you.
Will we edit this out and send him off? No, we
No,
won't.
we won't.
We can still see you though. We can still see you.
That's fine. In
Just-
terms of editing, we have no editing.
Yeah. Can you not see us?
I can't see you guys,
There
unfortunately.
we
But
are. You
I
can't
can
see
I
us
can
at
still
all. Can't see us. You can't see us.
Listen, it's for the best at this point. I've currently got a pack of lozenges. I'm currently trying to get over a cold, lads.
No,
I can't-
we can see
We
you.
can
though.
see you. We
you.
can see you.
Oh, there you go. So you get to see my
Yeah, we can see all
pack of
them.
lozenges.
Don't get your ass out or anything, right? Just
He
like-
takes his trousers off, that dude.
oh god.
PG,
Right.
guys, PG.
Well, I think we've gone top to bottom in the table,
Yeah.
to be fair. I think this
We've
is
gone-
just
it's
descended
gone
into
there,
madness now. Mid-table, we'll briefly skim over Man United.
Oh, it's a depressing sentence, isn't it?
Yeah,
Mid-table.
Skip over Man United, probably for best.
they've been a little bit just meh at the minute.
I think my favourite thing about Man United probably this season will be Roy Keane's video of him announcing their third kit,
yeah,
which was
yeah,
it was pretty badass.
yeah,
I gotta say it was a
was.
pretty badass video. I can't see it being more than that for them really. I think they'll have a nice kit, finish in a sort of half decent place in the table, and that'll be it for them really. I really can't see too much inspiration from Man United.
Yeah, they got
I-
so
who
lucky
knows?
against Wales. It was unbelievable. Can we just talk about how Andre Onana seems to have gone to the Rodri School of the Dark Arts? How that's not a penalty? He has assaulted the man. Like,
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. But
Ah.
I mean, I thought Onana was a good signing for him. I think he'd be a good.
Yeah, but is he better than De Gea? And I know De Gea's made some clangers, right? But like, I just don't know.
Where do you look? Where do you look now, though, in the world for like an unbelievable
keeper?
goalkeeper?
Yeah.
I don't know many. I don't know many.
Personally, or
Not personally. I don't know any personally.
I mean, outside of the likes of Donnarumma, where do you go? Like,
he's
Exactly,
fallen
yeah.
off the face of the planet since
Yeah,
playing in France.
exactly.
Like, because when you go to France, you just don't like, especially now Messi isn't playing there. There's no Neymar there. Like, I haven't heard anything about the French leagues
yeah.
this season yet, and we're what, 3 weeks in? I don't think I've heard one thing. I could have told you a couple of results from Spain. I could tell you a couple from Germany because Kane's there. Absolutely not a clue what's happening in France.
The only thing I remember from Ligue 1 so far this season is the comparison image between PSG's front three, where it's Mbappe, Neymar, and Messi up against Goncalo Ramos, and the other two in that as well. I don't quite
The
remember
other two.
names.
That
the
says
other
it all,
two,
doesn't it?
says
The other
it,
two.
yeah, literally says it
Yeah.
all, doesn't it? Well, there we are. Aaron, I want to get your let me get your predictions for the season. Because we're still early on. We're still early on.
Yeah.
So I want your champion, Premier League champion, top 4, so the remaining 3, and then your 3 who are going down.
Right, okay. So in terms of champions, I think it's clearly going to be Manchester City again. Like, you've seen it as well. They're just scarily consistent. I don't see too many teams laying a glove of them. Reigning members of the top 4, I think Arsenal will be in there as second place. I think Newcastle will be there for maybe third or fourth. I'm going to say fourth. Now, the Man United prediction is looking rather shaky. But I'm going to go for top 4, City champions, Arsenal second, Liverpool third. I think they'll get better. And I think Newcastle fourth.
Okay,
nice. Leaving Spurs out.
Yeah, I think Spurs, if they're not there, they'll be like fifth or something.
Fair enough.
I think they'll get fifth or something like that.
And your bottom 3.
Bottom 3, I think it'll be definitely Wolves. I think they'll finish bottom now. They just do not look great at all, and I don't see any real way out for them at this current stage. I think Luton will go down, and I think it will be. I'm so tempted to say Everton. I know Jacob's watching. I know he's listening to this. You're getting a stay of execution for one more season, Everton. I'm going to get Sheffield United there. I think they'll do it again. They're going to.
I agree. I do agree with you.
But it's a case of the teams around them are worse than them.
Yeah,
it's not because they're better than anyone. It's because they just aren't as bad as the other teams.
Do you know, boys? My heart just fell out my ass. I thought we weren't recording.
No, don't say it. It says
but
recording.
It says recording up there.
Yeah.
I was honestly like, oh my God.
I've got to do all this again.
One heart attack later. I think we'll leave you to it today.
Yeah.
That's our little Premier League roundup after 2 weeks. Bit of an emergency episode. So thank you, Aaron, for stepping in last minute.
Yeah, much appreciated. We knew we could rely on you.
Yes, we always can.
Of course, anything for the boys. Thank you for having me back on.
No worries, anytime. Do you want to tell us where we can find you guys on TikTok, YouTube, and you've got a pod now, haven't you?
Yes.
Yep, we've got the Flat Chat podcast. New episode will be out tomorrow, talking about FPL game week 1 and 2, very similar to what we're doing tonight. So you'll get the boys' takes and everything else like that. But yep, the Flat Chat on TikTok, we've just passed 50k, which is wild to me. Absolutely incredible. Obviously, we've done the stuff with Lunch and Tovskis. Shout outs to them. They're mad, genuinely. The YouTube's going well. You can find us on the Flat Chat there as well. We've done some videos with some pretty good names over the last couple of weeks. We've had Tom Garrett on. We've had Paddy Murphy on very recently as well, and Cap Gun Tom. So it's been phenomenal. Like, what is actually happening right now? I have a double take, to be honest with these boys. I can't lie. How have we ended up with this? Like, how has this happened? But
we had Marcel from Love Island 2 weeks ago. We were like,
exactly, yeah.
How this happened?
We were fanboying mad.
That is what we're learning here. You guys are getting Love Island contestants, so we're not at that level yet. Like, clearly.
Oh well, there we are. Al, pleasure as always.
Thank you for having me again, boys.
Been fun. Thank you, Aaron. We really appreciate you coming down.
Yeah, we'll catch you guys soon. Have a good week. Bye.
Take care.